Hello comrades, so today I will speak about very complicated subject. It is our position of Polish communists towards European Union. Firstly, I will explain why I think that this question is complicated. It is complicated because of division of Polish society and also because the history of the communist movement. We, the members of the Polish Workers' Party, we would like to continue this tradition of the other communist party, especially Bolshevik party, and if we analyze the history of the Bolshevik party, we see that this party, for example, when we take a book of the Vladimir Lenin, what have to be done, we see that the strategy of building party, it was a one way, a party for the intelligentsia from the big cities, the students, educated people with progressive position, and in the other way it was a united workers movement. So the strategy of Lenin, it was taking the students which are starting to thinking about the criticism of capitalism. They knew the book of Marx, and they start the political activity in the cities, and after try to build the organization from students and spread this Marxist ideology towards the Russian working class. And we see this division, that in one way the students were more educated, and also in the question of the what they thinking about the religion, what they think about the women's right. It is the other position that the peasants or workers in Russia. So this division we can see also in Poland, and this division is important to the question of the European Union. So in one way, the people who are interested about the left politics, especially people who collaborated today with the Polish Social Democracy, this is people who were active in last years in two big movements. I prepared here some of the photo of this movement. So first movement, which was very massive, it was movement against the party Law and Justice. This movement was started in 2015, and it was movement named Komitet Obrony Demokracji. It is Committee for Defense of the Democracy. And as you see, it was a movement where I prepared photo. I wanted to show you a photo of big demonstration in Poland, where you can always find a flag of European Union. So as you see, we have these liberal demonstrations, demonstration organized by the members of the Civic Platform. It is a liberal party of Donald Tusk, which was in power in Poland from 2007 until 2015, and in 2015, when they lose power, they starting to organize these demonstrations. Why it is important for the left? Because some of the social democratic parties leaders participated in this demonstration, and also in the discussions in internet, we can find the people from leftist circles, and sometimes they call themselves that they are Marxist, when they defend the question of Poland that Poland have to be member of the European Union. This movement committed for the workers' democracy, committed defending democracy, this is a movement, liberal movement for the bourgeoisie, which is anti-communist, as you see, to criticize the Jarosław Kaczyński and the party Law and Justice. They tried to say that he is communist. He is communist, and especially in 2015 and 2016, the party Law and Justice have a very social program. They make shorter the time to going to the pensions, so they in the same time when in all European Union they try to make workers work long to wait to the pension. In Poland they change it. Other things that this government introduced the program of 500 plus. It is program to giving money to the parents of the children, and also they closed the big shops and Sundays, so, and stuff like this. So in the beginning of the ruling in the Law and Justice parties, they tried to make some social reforms, and it is why they were criticized that they are communist. So you see here that Kaczyński is like Che Guevara, here Kaczyński is like Kim Jong-il, Kim Jong-il, the father of the Kim Jong-un today. So I prepared photo like this from the Committee for the Workers' Democracy, and the other big movement. It is maybe not important for the left, because this movement was typically movement for the liberals, and also this participation of the leaders of the Social Democrats was not very popular in the Polish social democracy. But after we have other movement which is a little similar to these demonstrations of Komitet Obrony Demokracji. It is very famous demonstration of Polish women, and I prefer a photo of these demonstrations. So this demonstration is named Strajk Kobiet, the strike of the woman. And as you see in these demonstrations, we can also find very often a flag of European Union. And now it is political problem what we have to do with this. As you see, it is Strajk Kobiet and European Union. Here also is the demonstration of Polish women and the Strajk Kobiet. Of this here is big demonstration, and always there is somebody who came with the European Union flag, but of course the organizers of this protest are not against it, because they, if they are against, they could say somebody to go out with this flag, but they are not against. Why they are not against? And it is this problem of maybe I will speak about this later. I want also may show you other photos, the photos of the Polexit. Polexit in Poland, it is the idea which is popular in the conservative right parties. So as you see here, we have the demonstration of the, I think that it is Konfederacja party, because this is Bosak, this is Korwin, Winnicki, Wilk, Berkowicz, so it is the leaders of the Social Konfederacja party, and is written here, no to the European Union. They are against European Union. And why they are against European Union? It will be more important. Here it is explanation. We don't want the German European Union, and as you see we have this symbol which is that it is continuation of the third right. Okay, so I present you some photo which show you some of the division in the Polish societies, and this division are make this discussion complicated, because in the analysis of when you speak with somebody who studies politology, and he presents what is communist movement, he will explain you that we have division for right and left, and the communist, it is the movement of the left, it is extreme left, far left movement. So we have to be allies of the people from the left. We have to be allies of the Polish social democracy. And as you see, Polish social democracy is pro-European Union, and our enemies, the Polish right, is against European Union. But when we try to analyze the same problem from the Marxist perspective, it's starting to be more complicated, because we, the communists, we try to organize the Polish working class, and the Polish working class is divided in this question. In one way, we have members of the Polish working class, like me, who work with European Union. I emigrated to France, and we have a lot of Poles who worked in European Union, especially in the construction industry. My brother, he works in the construction industry. He works in Germany with other Polish people, Polish workers. And we have also a lot of Polish truck drivers who are working in all Europe. I think that you see already, you already see the Polish truck in the parking in the autoroute in Germany. So we have one one big part of the Polish working class which are work in European Union. And also we have other part of the Polish working class who are against European Union. Especially we have Polish miners. Why Polish miners are against European Union? Polish miners are against European Union because European Union every year try to push Polish government to close the Polish mines. So we have all this strategy to transformation of energetic transformation of the Polish economy, that we need to have ecologic energy from the wind, from the solar panels, from stuff like this, and we need to destroy the Polish mines and Polish energetic system which is based from the coal. And we have all this propaganda against the Polish miners. It is the propaganda of the ecological movement from the European Union, the Commission European, but also the Polish middle class and the members of the Polish Social Democracy. So one of the leader of the Polish Social Democracy, Robert Biedroń, he's Europarlament, he's a member of the Europarlament. He was a candidate for the president in 2020. He gained very little score, 2%, and he publicly said that he wants to close all the Polish mines in 2030. So only 9 years, and every miner will be without work. This is this problem, how we can speak to organize the Polish working class when the Polish working class is against European Union, and we want to, and in the other way we want also to try to build alliance with the protesters who were active in this protest, women protest like this. Because for me it is not a problem. I can find one language with the radical woman from Warsaw who was active in this movement against Law and Justice Party to make abortion legal. And most of these women are not naive, and it's maybe not a very strong European propaganda, but they explain that we need European Union because the Polish society is ultra-Catholic, ultra-reactionary, and to help the Polish women we need to have allies in the Western European countries, the European Parliament, Brussels, and stuff like this. And the discussion in the leftist circles about the European Union, it is discussion very, very complicated, because It is not a question of the rational arguments, it is question of emotional. If you are against law and justice, if you support fight for the abortion, fight for the other things which were in this movement in October and November in 2020, they don't listen any arguments against European Union. The European Union is showing like a force, like an organization of the human rights, democracy, and with all this propaganda which is now that we have the European Union built by the human rights, and in the other side we have two totalitarian societies. In the Eastern Europe we have the totalitarian Kaczynski and totalitarian Orban in Hungary, and it is complicated because the social democracy in Poland is in crisis. And I think that there are many young people which we can educate to the Marxism, to the communism, and they watched my videos. They are reading or listening the audiobooks with Karl Marx and other Marxists, and they present themselves like a Marxist. It is why it is complicated, because if they present themselves like a reformist, I don't care, but they present themselves like a Marxist, and these Marxists, they said that now we are against nationalism, we are against all this patriotic propaganda, so we support the democratic human rights project of internationalism, and the European Union, it is a project of the internationalism. It is true internationalism. So it is one thing. And always if you are criticize European Union, they accuse you that you are collaborating with Polish extreme right, because extreme right are against European Union. So that this is this. Now we have our economic program, what we wrote in our literature. So in Polish Workers' Party, our strategy is like this, that we say openly that our program, it is firstly I want to say that for us this question that Poland stayed in European Union or go out from European Union, it is not very important. For us, the most important, it is not important for the ideological question. Yet it is our objective it is our purpose to finish with European Union. Our position is different. We knew how European Union works, and we know that the realization of our program of socialist transformation, that nationalization of the multinational which existed in Poland, that and many other things like this, that I don't want to present all our economic program, but this first question is already forbidden in Europe. If you want to be a member of the European Union, you need to respect the treaties from Maastricht and others, which are neoliberal free market laws. So we can't. It is impossible to build socialism in European Union. So if we want to stay in European Union starts to make sanctions against us, against Poland. So we have the common budget, and they said you need to give your money to the common budget, but we will not give you your part after, because you are totalitarian socialist societies. So we know that that it is impossible to realize our program and stay in the European Union in the same time. What else? But as I said before, there are many people in Poland who are work today in European Union, and the popularity of European Union in Polish society is very, very big. It is one of the biggest in all Europe. It is one of the paradox that in the same time when the Western powers, Western politics, Brussels said criticize every day Poland because of Kaczynski, the popularity of the European Union are it's not big like in 2004, but because in 2004 I think it is more than 80% or more. Now it is maybe 60%, but all the time it is big majority. So we Polish Workers' Party, we knew that to introduce our program we need to go out from European Union, but in the other hand, if we start to speak about go out from European Union, about Polexit, we will be marginalized like a force who is collaborated from extreme right. So we need to make a strategy in the middle, that we will try to take power in Poland and wait for the sanction, and after the sanction organize a referendum, and with hope that this referendum give Poland independence. But of course it is the future, and it is a little political fiction. What will we do with this question? Now we are very weak party with very weak popularity, so it is only the question of the theoretical discussion. What could we do? But this question, how to speak with a young radical leftists from big cities, it is not theoretical question. It is question how to build a party and how to speak with people who hate Law and Justice Party, and they think that the European Union it is democratic alternative, because this propaganda is very, very strong. This propaganda, European propaganda in Poland, is very strong, and we have I forget it about one thing, that we have also the social democratic propaganda, which said something like this, that yes, we know the capitalism is bad system, but we have two kinds of capitalism. We have bad capitalist system, like in USA, especially they used this propaganda in the time of the Donald Trump. So when the Trump was president of USA, they said, look, we have bad societies in the USA, this is bad capitalism, but we have good capitalism. This good capitalism existed in European Union. Of course, it is bullshit. I am living in France and speaking here about the democratic rights or about the liberty of speech. It is bullshit, because we had all this big movement of Yellow Vest movement, and big repression of the French police towards these protesters. And this repression which exists, police repression which exists in France, are much more bigger than it is not the same level which is in Hungary or Poland. In Poland it is very small, very weak. In France it is very big repression, and also in Spain towards this Catalonia independent movement, that when they imprisoned this communist rapper Pablo Hasél. It is dictature in Spain, but it is impossible to speak about this with the Polish left. So I forget it about one other things which I need to say. So I don't have photo. We have also of the peasant movement in Poland. 10 years ago we had a leader of the peasant movement who was killed in official line. He made a suicide. His name is Andrzej Lepper. He organized a protest in 1990s after he was a politician, and after he died in 2011, I think. But now we have other peasant movement with new leader. His name is Michał Kołodziejczak, and he also tried to organize the Polish peasants. He organized Polish peasant against the politic of the importation of the agricultural merchandise from Europe to Poland. He warned that in Polish shops, not Polish shops, but the shops in Poland. Shops in Poland, there are the Polish fruits, Polish legumes, Polish vegetables, Polish meat, Polish bread, and stuff like this. Of course, it is not the case. And the Polish peasants, in one way, they are very happy that they are member of European Union, because European Union every year give them a big money. In the other way, they are against, because they are totally dependent of this situation, and because of free market in Europe, they are losing this concurrence with other countries. So they are also against European Union. But today I wanted only you to present this division which we see if you go to Warsaw, to a liberal or social democratic protest movement, you will see one part of the Polish society which is very strong pro-union, and in these protesters you can find people who knew who is Karl Marx, for example. So it is a problem that if you won't speak about Marxism in Poland, you speak about people who support European Union, and in the other way you want to speak with workers which don't know who is Karl Marx, and which are or they knew that he is a devil, they knew all this anti-communist propaganda, and they are against European Union. This problem is not new. It exists from many years, and I didn't find a solution how to speak about this question. I don't feel also that you will help me with this problem, but I wanted to show you that we have big theoretical problem how to build socialism today. I think also that the problem is it will be much more easier for us if in Europe we can find strong allies. That, for me, if we had a big communist movement in Germany, in France, in other countries, it will be something other, that we could rest in European Union because it is a very radical communist forces there, and it can help us. But no, the communist movement in every Western countries are in the deep crisis. This movement are marginalized, and it is not. Recently, I spoke about the elections which are taking part in France. It's good that there is election and there are communist parties which present their candidates, but I don't consider these forces in France like revolutionary forces. Maybe one day some of them will become a revolutionary forces, but today it is something like radical social democratic forces using communist propaganda. Okay, so I will finish.